Damaging winds and rain continue to batter Florida this morning as Tropical Storm Ian makes its way across the central part of the state. For more on the situation down south, let's welcome in Florida Congressman and member of the Homeland Security, Science, Space and Technology and Transportation and Infrastructure Committees, Carlos Gimenez. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. I know the big concern this morning is storm surge. Can you just tell us what's happening in your area and what damage you've seen so far?
Well, I represent areas of Miami-Dade County and the Keys. I'm hearing that the biggest damage in the Keys was down by Key West, which kind of makes sense because that's the westernmost key that we have. In Miami-Dade, the damage is light. We were actually we weren't on the dirty side of the storm, and so actually rainfall has been far less than what we expected. The winds, are gusty, but it's not something totally out of the ordinary. When you look, there's a lot of debris around, but that's not something that we can't handle. It wasn't bad down here in Miami-Dade.
Yeah, and you are so used to getting hurricanes in that area. My parents used to live in Fort Lauderdale, so they know it all too well. You do represent Florida's most southern districts, but as we know, the storm, it hit more south than expected. They were thinking it was going to hit in Tampa, but hit more in Fort Myers. Are you hearing anything from people over there?
Well, I'm hearing some reports from reporters. I mean, over in that side of the state, that the causeway to Sanibel, parts of it have collapsed, and so I don't know what that means. If that's part of the bridge or it's part of the land base, part of the land causeway that goes there. I would expect that you're going to have some roads that are being washed away. I would hope that most of the people that were told to evacuate, if not all the people told to evacuate, evacuated. There's reports from a sheriff that's saying that he expects hundreds of people to be, to have perished. I hope again that that's also false. I remember when I was the fire chief of the city of Miami, and we flew over Homestead after Hurricane Andrew. We expected a lot of people to have perished, and fortunately, we didn't have, as many as we feared. Hopefully, the sheriff is mistaken again, and then the people left. But I understand that there's a lot of devastation over there, especially from the storm surge and the high winds. It's a combination. This is a very powerful storm, and again, I hope that all the people that were told to evacuated and got out of harm's way.
Yeah, we hope the same. I know over the last few days you've been talking about how important it is to be prepared. We know that Florida, you've had many hurricanes. Do you think that these counties were prepared enough for this storm?
Look, I mean, there's no state that's going to be better prepared for hurricanes than Florida, and all the counties in Florida know what we're up against. That's the price you pay for living in paradise. And so, unfortunately, we get very good at it because we've had a lot of practice, and we learn after each and every storm. So I expect, what I'm seeing from the governor is great leadership. We've had great leadership from our governors, from Jeb Bush to Rick Scott, and now Ron DeSantis, pre-positioning assets and pre-positioning, response capabilities all over the state so that as soon as the weather clears, we go in, clear the roads, then get rescue personnel in there to help rescue the people that need to be rescued, and then we start our recovery efforts. And that's something that we do, all the time. We know how to do it. Now it's up to the people to heed the warnings, get out of the way, be self-sustaining for at least 3 days, have food, water, medicine, so that they could take up to 3 days for help to get to them. We should all know that. Floridians have been here for a while do know that, but we also have a lot of people that have moved in recently that may not. Hopefully, right. They listen to our warnings.
Right. You have a lot of new people who moved to your state during the pandemic, and now they're going to be experts on hurricanes. Of course, great people who've been there to show them the ropes. Congressman Carlos Gimenez, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
No crooked establishment.
None of that
twisting the truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.